guys. Deborah King Live. So glad you could come today. It's one of two holiday shows. You're going to have a ball. We're going to sing some amazing holiday songs with you.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Spirit gave it to me, I'm gonna let it shine. Spirit gave it to me now, I'm gonna let it shine. Spirit gave it to me, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world,
I'm gonna let it shine.
all around the world, I'm gonna let it shine.
Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Hey, Jack's on fire. We are off to a rolling start. Love spending these Tuesdays with you guys. So you can call me a little bit later in the show. You can call the red phone. That's, let me think, it's 1-888-DEB-SHOW. And now we also have, you'll see here on the screen and over on Facebook, we also have, for international callers, just go to deborahking.com/DebShow. You can reach me that way. Would love to talk to you, hear all about what's going on for you. Just below, you can also hit the share button and share the show with your friends and family, and they can come party with us today and with you, okay? So let's all just take a moment and call for higher guidance. Let's take a second here. We'll close our eyes. Take a deep breath. We'll feel the ground beneath our feet, or even if you're up high in a big building, you just imagine the ground down there and feel part of it. We're part of Mother Earth. You're just as much with me here as if you were here, right? Because we're all connected energetically. We just expand our hearts and we all become one, and we do that through music and through our voices. It's such a wonderful connection to make with each other. So let's just expand our whole energy field from, go from the bottom to the top. Just allow it to expand and feel good. And just join me on this beautiful day. Can you believe it's November 30 and it's about 85 degrees here in Ojai? Pretty amazing, huh? So I'm going to take a minute here and introduce the band. Come on in, Renee. So we have a guest pianist today for one of our songs, Renee Hamity. Welcome, Renee, from Santa Barbara, a well-known accompanist. And of course, Jack, who was just playing like mad, our guy, Jack Lee. We also have Lois Mahalia on vocals. Go Lois. She just had a big award show thing that I'll tell you all about later. Yeah, we got J.B. White here on vocals and bass, and our guy Myron Aguilar on vocals, and let's not forget James behind me and his hat. James Antunes, he's on vocals and drums. And this next song is really a favorite of mine. I'm singing it with Lois. I hope you like it. It really takes me back.
per servus et humilis, servus et humilis.
Anis angelicus,
Anis angelicus, panis hominum, Jaquanis celicus, figuris terminores ores mirabilis, mantuc ad Dominum,
servus et humilis. Servus et humilis. What a treat. I remember that from my childhood. You may too, huh? Great song. So, I want to thank Renee. That was such a treat. And I want to talk to you today about the history of the holidays. I'll head over there right now and we'll get started on that. So I want to talk about the holidays and our role in them, and let's look at history. You know how I love to do a little history, right? Because it sets our place in time and space. Because we are a continuum. Our spirit has no beginning or end. We're here all the time, and so let's look back at the times that predate the birth of Jesus, because that's where the holidays go to. They don't just go to his birth. So the earliest Christian advocates and missionaries, what they did, they were really clever, okay? They were good salespeople. They integrated their own beliefs into what they called pagan, okay, holidays and traditions in order to attract the people into their belief system. And, they wanted to transform them. And so December 25th has been globally celebrated for what now? At least a century and a half. But scholars really think Jesus was born, I'm sorry to tell you this, in April, all right? Because, that's what all of the science tells us and the archaeology. But in fact, they chose December. You'll hear from me that it coincided with some indigenous holidays that they could graft themselves onto. So Christmas Day itself has been celebrated since like the mid-1800s, and at least in the U.S. And the Puritans originally, get this, they outlawed it. They said that if you were caught with a Christmas tree or giving a gift or singing carols, God forbid, you'd get fined because it was a pagan practice. Pretty interesting. So the question is, again, why December? Because midwinter has been celebrated around the world for millennia, because the ancients knew there was a solstice, right? They could look up in the sky and figured out that there was the shortest day of the year. And they knew it was incredibly important for them and their body and spirit. They were tuned in to the planet and the stars in a way that, that we envy. So they knew that after December 21st, they could start to count on more sunlight, thank God, and that they might survive. Remember, it was a life or death situation. in those days. So, for example, in Scandinavia, the Norse have always celebrated Yule from winter solstice all the way through January. They're a hard drinking culture, and the fathers and son would carry these big, gigantic Yule logs in and burn them. And as long as the log burned, which could be a couple weeks, you got to drink as much as you wanted. And they said that the number of sparks would foretell the number of little baby piglets or livestock you would have. So throughout most of Europe, the end of December was the perfect time to celebrate, because that's when most of the livestock were butchered and you could have some fresh meat. Again, you're trying to stay alive. You have to think about it. It's very different from now. And the pastures would be snowbound, so there's no sense letting your livestock die out there and freeze to death. So again, December's the only time they could have fresh meat, and they brewed their wine and beer all summer and fall, and so they got that to drink with the meat. So what a raucous time. So in Germany, people honored this guy named Odin. He was an indigenous god. He was a pretty fiery guy, and they believed he made nighttime flights through the sky, and he would choose somebody to swoop down and pick on. And lots of people stayed indoors to avoid Odin because he was very erratic, and reminds you of some current politicians, huh? So in Rome, where winters were a lot less harsh because it was farther south, they had Saturnalia. That was their big holiday, and there they honored the god of agriculture. So they began the week before the winter solstice, and Saturnalia went on for a whole month, just like the Norse people. It ran long, and great for people who wanted to eat and drink. And they upended their social order. Now, I found this really interesting when I was studying this history for you guys last week. What they did was they gave people who were slaves temporary freedom and treated them as equals for like a month. Isn't that an interesting concept? So during the early years of Christianity, nobody celebrated Jesus' birth. It was unheard of. Easter was the Christian celebration, right? But in the fourth century AD, the church decided to create a holiday, a birthday. But the Bible doesn't divulge his date of birth, and the Puritans kept, of course, harping on that to question the legitimacy of the celebration. But they finally decided on December 25th. A Pope chose it, Pope Julius, and he did it. Science and history tells us to incorporate Saturnalia, okay, the big celebration that was already going on in Rome. Now, at first they called it the Feast of the Nativity. If you're a Bible student, you know those words. And the custom spread over to Egypt and to England by about, 600. So by holding Christmas during well-attended indigenous holidays, the church really increased the likelihood that the public would come. And that's their target audience. So it was really clever. And by the Middle Ages, Christian believers went to church, and then they went and got drunk. A lot of that, okay. And they had this carnival-like atmosphere. It would be very much like Mardi Gras. The poor, again, this was interesting emphasis. The poor would visit the households of the rich, and they would terrorize them to give them food and drink. And Christmas became a time when the upper class was expected to help the lower class briefly, for a couple, 3 weeks. As families became more sensitive to the fact they had children, flash forward to maybe 1600, right? Christmas offered parents an opportunity to give their children gifts, to, pay some attention to them. This was a time when parents were extremely busy because you had to do everything. You had to secure your own food. You had a busy day. So for the next century, Americans built really a unique Christmas tradition. I know I'm speaking to a lot of you who are around the world. I'll just tell you what, I know we've stolen from you, and you've incorporated a lot of our ideas. You may have noticed I have a Christmas tree up. I can't wait every year to put a Christmas tree up. I just love that. And I love the whole thing, the gifts, and especially the caroling. We're going to sing carols today, and as well as our next show, which is December 14th. Be sure to come. We'll be singing all carols. You can sing with us. We kind of reinvented the celebration of Christmas for ourselves. in our young nation. So I'm going to take you on a guided meditation back to the days of pre-Christianity in just a minute. But first, let's go sing a song. Okay.
One, two, three, 2, 2, 3. What child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, and shepherds guard are keeping? This is Christ the King, whom shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary. So bring him incense, gold, and myrrh. Come, peasant king, to own him. The King of kings salvation brings. Let loving arms enthrone him. Raise, raise a song on high. His mother sings a lullaby. Joy, joy, for Christ is born, the babe, the Son of Mary. What child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet, while shepherds watch are keeping? This is Christ the King, whose shepherds guard and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him, Lord, the babe, the Son of Mary.
Bet that's one of your favorite Christmas songs, certainly one of mine. All right, let's go do a guided meditation. So, we're nearing a turning point, right? We're only a few short weeks away from December 21st. At least those of us in the Northern Hemisphere will look forward to that, because that's when the light starts to increase again, and the warmth. This was such a special time in Neolithic era. Time for feasting, as I mentioned, before the famine set in, and then you'd be on kind of a crash diet until May. So, the heart of this holiday time was so significant to us. Again, the birth of Jesus was set at December 25th. That was the date of the festival of Sol Invictus, the sun god for the Roman Empire, and that really incorporated all of the indigenous traditions and made us all one big happy family. Okay, so let's take this time to meditate on our own darkness and light. So you want to close your eyes And just kick back and relax for a minute. You don't have anything to do right now. Just take a deep breath. We ground ourselves again. Beautiful. We just exhale any tension we're feeling. Let's take another deep breath. And then just let your breathing become slow and easy. And I want you to imagine you're walking alone in a dark forest at dusk. There's no moon. You know, we're walking pretty slow. The path is barely visible. You know, the trees are all kind of shrouded in gloom, and maybe your heart is heavy with sorrow for things that have happened this past year. It's been a very challenging year, hasn't it? You're probably too hard on yourself. You think back on your failures instead of your successes. You think about that you said the wrong thing or closed your heart one day to somebody and you regret that. Maybe you saw someone in need and didn't turn toward them. Or maybe like me, you're feeling the pain of the world. There's a lot of pain and angst, isn't there, at this time? It's been such a desperate year and a half, almost 2 years now. And across the world, there are people trying to escape poverty and war and persecution and disease. These are tough times. And all that pain of the earth, we feel it. We feel it. In our own happy, secure lives, we feel that. So just keep walking and let the night just steal over its beauty over this bleak forest that we're walking through. Darkness grows even deeper. Maybe you have anxious thoughts. Maybe you're worried about what's going to happen this winter, right? But you know, that darkness, it's the soil of our being. It's where we really germinate the seeds of our future. So let's take a moment and plant seeds of focused intentionality. Success is always in finding a solution to a problem. And maybe you're plagued with financial issues, and you can plant the intention for financial success and start climbing out of debt, right? Or maybe you just lost a close, caring relationship, and the next one seems so out of reach, like impossible. Plant the seed right now, an intention to be open-hearted and available to give and receive. Maybe you're worried your shadow side's winning. You see it all the time, right? Plant the intention right now to have your higher self be the one that's acting through this body, this lifetime, right? Let's honor all parts of ourselves, the high and the low, the dark and the light, the powerful, the weak. This is all part of us. Let's set our intention right now to release whatever we don't need. Just let it go. With me, just intend to let it go right now. Let's prepare for rebirth and renewal at this holiday. And just imagine we're seeing the first stars break through right now in the darkness. And we look up and we see them. And we begin to walk more confidently, don't we, by starlight. And maybe we hear rustling nearby and a spot of light in the distance. We come to a clearing. I want you to imagine there's someone standing near a fire. And we wonder, is it safe to continue? But the figure's beckoning toward us and saying, come toward me. And you feel safe, so let's go together. And a faint glow is emanating from this figure. It appears to be a female figure. I want you just to imagine this. And there's a woman there. She's got a kind of a weathered face, but she looks kindly. She's peering at us out from beneath her hood. She says, sit with me here on this blanket, right here on the ground. Feel Mother Earth coming up through the blanket, right up through your body. And just take time and warm your hands on that fire for a moment. Stare at the sweet fire. You smell the burning cedar and you feel the warmth. So this is an early Celtic goddess that we've just stumbled on, and she heals with song and fire. Bridgette, you know Bridgette. She's from an ancient lineage of Druids. She's got these ribbons of red and green woven and throughout her hair. Her hair's silver. And she speaks to you really gently, slowly, lovingly. She tends the fire and she says, "You have nothing to fear from the darkness, nothing at all. The darkness is your mother. She's the mother of light. So just let go of your burdens for a moment and just rest here with me. Because the light can't return until the darkness is complete." So just let her voice warm us. And let's just surrender to her loving presence. Beautiful. She takes out herbs, she holds some to us, and she chants softly in an ancient language, and we just feel the words, we don't really know them. She throws the herbs in the fire and urges us to do the same. You let that smoke just wash over you. Lie down for a moment and just enter a dream state. Just allow yourself to float and hear her voice in this sacred space, telling us this is the magic time. December always is the magic time. This is when we get the most power from the other realms, the other worlds. So hear that and know it, and slowly we wake up. We're still feeling kind of dreamlike, right? Just knowledge, just let that knowledge arise within you from your own body and your own spirit, that you are whole and that this is a magical time. This is the time for you to really step out of the darkness and into the light. So it's time to continue our journey. Beautiful. So we rise from our blanket and we start walking back. We've received the blessing of the ancient Druids. Just take it in, allow it to become part of you. You know, and take a candle, maybe this evening. Light it and know that when the dawn breaks, that'll be your moment for the sun to return. So we stand on a threshold between the unknown and the known. We always do. We always do. A cycle has ended, a new one's beginning. Be excited about the new cycle of your life. New cycle. How exciting. All right. Heading back. Thank you for joining me in this meditation. Feel another song coming on here.
Oh, yeah.
Another big favorite for this time of year.
In the bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan. Earth stood hard as iron, water like a stone. Snow had fallen, snow on snow, snow on snow on snow. In the bleak midwinter, long, long ago.
Angels and archangels may have traveled there. Cherubim
Love this time of year. Love these songs. Hope you're singing along. All the lyrics are there on Facebook for you. Just, sing along with us. And it's time for me to take some calls on my little red phone. Okay. Don't be shy. Go ahead, call in. I must be psychic. Hi, this is Deborah. How can I help you?
Hi, Deborah. Normally, I am a person who... Oops.
No, go ahead. I can hear you. Normally, you're a person.
Normally, I'm a person of hope. And I've been pretty stable. However, lately I've been going through a lot of transitions and changes, and it's impacting me. I'm not sleeping very well. Throws me off for my energy, my focus, my pleasantness. And so I'd ask to see if you have any suggestions.
Boy, there's nothing worse, is there, not sleeping, huh? It's just
Yep.
It is just a killer. So let's talk about that first. It is, I'm just tuning into you, and your vata, that's that air quality, it's a little bit out of whack. That really causes a lot of insomnia, and our vata tends to go out. You feel like you're living somewhere cold. Is that right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It tends to go out about 2 weeks after it turns cold. You have to keep your throat covered all the time when you go outside, especially if the wind's blowing. That's really critical.
Right.
So
a lot of wind here.
Okay. Yeah, you feel vata deranged. That's not cuckoo. Okay, that's vata deranged. It's different. It means that 1/3 of your body mind is kind of skewed and is like unstable and unhappy. And it's the most common cause of insomnia. And I think everything is flowing from that. I don't think there's anything wrong with your life except lack of sleep. So you feel like a new mother. I'm thinking that's not the case, right?
Right.
Right. But that's what you feel like you've been sleepless for a while. Are you napping during the day?
Not much, no.
Oh, I recommend that. I recommend no later than 1 p.m. So ideally you'd lay down for anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes, not more than 40. 20 is ideal. Around 11, noon, 1 at the latest, or it will interfere with your rest at night. If you're sleepy after breakfast, that's another time. Now, all the animals of the field, they know this. If you've ever lived on a farm like I have, every single animal, when the sun comes up, and they've been half awake all night, for safety reasons, they got one eye open in case a wolf or some other predator comes around. So, they leave the matriarch of the field. These horses, llamas, all the critters do this. They let her stand there, and the rest of them lay down after breakfast and take a nice 30, 40, 50-minute nap. We're from the animal kingdom. We've just forgotten that. And so I really want to encourage you, if you feel sleepy after breakfast, just go lay down, take a nap. If you can squeeze one in after lunch, great, take another nap. 20 minutes is perfect. So then if you only sleep 4 or 5 hours a night, it doesn't really matter. Between those 2 naps, power naps, okay, I mean, every president or important national figure, international figure, they all know this. They all power nap. for some reason we all feel like we have to trudge on, but you really want a power nap. And you meditate? It feels like it.
Yes.
Meditation's another fabulous substitute for sleep. It's another deep REM experience. It really rests the body, mind, and your whole nervous system. So between two meditations, I would urge you to meditate when you first wake up in the morning, maybe get sleepy right after that, then go have breakfast, take a little nap, then do your stuff, have lunch, take a little nap. Don't meditate any later than 4. It might upset your time to go to sleep at night. So meditate about 4 o'clock, no later than that. And I think in a matter of a week or 2, your sleep problems will all resolve. You're over 40, right?
Yes.
Is that a yes?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so after people get over 40 or 50, they need less sleep. I know 8 hours would be great and everything, but for a lot of people, it's more like 5. And we just have to kind of adjust to it. And so you got to take these power naps during the day, or you just won't feel like yourself. And when we don't get enough sleep, we start to create problems we don't really have. We start to think that we're depressed, or that our relationship is horrible, or that our job, is horrible. Sleep is the key to everything. Sleep and meditation. So you can just power nap throughout the day. If you read about the saints, you'll find that a lot of them got 3, 4, 5 hours sleep a night. And I mean, what's the difference between now and the 13th century? Not much, right, for the human physiology. Does that help?
Actually, that's way more encouraging than I was thinking.
Yeah, you're not. You don't. I don't sense any other problems. I don't sense anything physical or mental, or I'm not getting anything except sleep deprived. And that can make us
more than willing to try.
Yeah, and that can make us just hysterically, insane, right? Not to get enough sleep. Ready to just like kill.
Thank you so
I'm so
very
glad you
much.
called. Yeah. You take care. Come sing with us again. We're back in 2 weeks on December 14th, same time, 2 p.m. Pacific.
Very good. Thank you.
All right. You take care.
Bye-bye.
Oh boy, do I know a lot about that subject. I've certainly had my experiences of sleeplessness. I could write a book on it. Hi, this is Deborah. How can I help you?
Hi, Deborah. This is Sue.
Hi, Sue. Where are you?
I'm in Virginia Beach.
Okay. How can I help you?
Well, I've had a cough for over 8 years now, and there isn't really anything in particular that sets it off.
Did you
but
say,
anything can set it off.
hold on, did you say cough?
A cough.
Wow, 8 years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you been to an ear, nose, and throat guy? I never can think of the correct title for that.
I have.
What'd they
I've
say?
been allergy test. They don't know what's causing it. I have had allergy testing, asthma testing, every kind of test you can think of, and nobody knows what it's
And
from.
nothing abnormal shows up in your throat or anywhere?
Mm-mm. No.
Has anybody thought maybe it was a nervous habit?
No one's never mentioned that.
Uh-huh. That's what it feels like. Feels like
Okay.
yeah, just like somebody else might have feels like in the realm of like a twitch, except you cough. Is it painful?
I get to the point of gagging, or I've even thrown up with it.
Uh-huh. I want to suggest that you see a cranial osteopath. I'm sensing something in the back of the maybe second or third vertebrae. A cranial osteopath. Now, real specific, this would be someone who's registered in the, I never can remember, I think it's the Academy of Cranial Osteopaths, maybe one of the good fairies that one of my students could put the correct URL on the Facebook page right now for me. it might be cranialacademy.org, but I can't quite recall. And there's a whole list of certified, qualified. A cranial osteopath is, first of all, an individual who went to medical school, so they're a doctor. Then they go on and they get their degree in osteopathy, and then they go an additional year and learn this, or 2 or 3, and they learn this very special technique. I think with a couple of sessions, it might go away of that treatment.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah. It's back in the back somewhere, like spinal. That's what it feels like.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, there's a reflex. There's a cough reflex around the brainstem. Try that.
Okay.
Yeah. And let us
I will.
know. And let us know on Facebook what you discover or what. I think it would take more than one session. Couple
Okay.
3.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
You take care. I'm glad you called.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So I discovered cranial osteopathy when my husband had a really bad head injury. And I was so enthused to have found this cranial osteopath. This was years ago. I drove all the way. He couldn't fly because of this head injury. He couldn't be under the pressure. I drove all the way from the West Coast to the East Coast to see this man in Boston and get there. And he says to me, you know, there's a great osteopath in San Francisco. And I'm like, who knew this was pre-internet? This yellow phone book kind of days. And if you remember that, or if you've ever read about that time in history. Hi, this is Deborah. How can I help you? Hi, this is Deborah.
Hello, Deborah. This is Linda from Saskatchewan.
Hi, Linda. How can I help you?
Well, I retired in June, and I've been struggling with emotions and anxiety.
Oh, yeah, I can feel it. Pretty normal. You're reinventing yourself, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think that's true.
It's very scary, huh?
It is scary.
Yeah. Yeah. Been there,
and
done
a
that.
lot of the past history stuff is coming up, and I don't know, maybe pushing me back.
Well, you know how it works. When we have a new problem, it triggers old problems that we haven't quite resolved or worked our way through. And it feels like this new matter of feeling anxious about, oh God, where am I headed next, and how do I pay the bills? Is it both? Feels like both.
Yeah, it's both.
It feels like
What's next?
Yeah, it feels like that's triggering a lot of old things that aren't quite tucked away yet. And I want to encourage you just to keep working on yourself and on this, and stay busy during the day. I wouldn't want to sit around and think about this very much, or at all. I'm not big on encouraging people to obsess about, what's wrong. I believe we should all stay really busy and do what's right. Feel good about, the good parts of our life.
Yes.
Have you found a new venture or?
No, I've filled out for a couple of jobs, but I haven't gotten anything yet.
No calls back. Have you looked online?
I filled some papers out online today, so we'll just see.
There are a lot of things. It's Linda, right? There are a lot of things that are available online. Which, you're living, sounds like, in a cold, wintry place. Who wants to drive around? And it's Canada's got pretty significant COVID problems, right? Still?
Yes.
Yeah, so do we. Yes. So wouldn't it be nice to stay home by the fire and the dog and, and work on the phone? It's
that would be nice.
Yeah, no, I really encourage you to look hard at that. Maybe get a friend to help you figure out how to research that kind of thing. Maybe get somebody to spend a half hour with you and show you the ropes on how to look stuff up and job search online. And again, don't think Canada, think the world. I mean, every time you order something now, the person you're talking to is half a world away, right? They're in India or somewhere else. So don't think local, and to think global.
No.
Think global.
I'm open to anything.
I'm sorry?
I'm open to anything, anywhere.
I bet. Yeah. Well, and I'm sensing you're not that far from your solution. Something's coming.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Glad you called. You take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Oh, we are out of time. So I will head back over. Time for another song. Be sure everybody sings along with this one, okay? You guys stand up and sing out. Lyrics are right there where you can find them.
While shepherds kept their watching, oh silent flocks by night, behold throughout the heavens there shone a holy light.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go, tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ was born.
Shepherds feared and trembled, though above the earth rang out the angels' chorus that hailed out the Savior's birth. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain, Jesus Christ is born. Down in a lonely manger, our humble Christ was born to give us so sweet salvation on that Christmas morn. Say, go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain, Jesus Christ is born. That Jesus Christ is born. That Jesus Christ is born.
I hope you guys are having as much fun as we are here. I'm not kidding. This is fun. This is fun. Well, we're at the end of our great time together. Remember, not next week, but the week after, we'll be back for our big holiday show, all right? And hope you can join me. Again, it's at 2 Pacific, 5 Eastern. That's December 14th. Come sing Christmas carols with us, and don't miss it. I'll see you there. Okay.
2, 3, 4.